This presentation is a gap analysis for Fort McMurray Corporation, brought to you by us, Kano Advisories Incorporation. In this presentation, we will go over the following: an introduction of McMurray Corporation, the issues that the company is facing, state our mission, discuss the survey components, key findings, analysis, and we will provide some recommendations. McMurray Corporation is one of the leading businesses in Fort McMurray. They employ over 100 project managers who works on multiple projects. The company set a high standard in dealings with every project they take. It is essential that every project manager are competent to execute a project. However, dealing with previous projects, the company found critical issues and need to take immediate action. For the company issues, they found about 35% of these projects show to have an overdue completion date, and some projects are over budget by 20%. Our goal, as Kano Advisories, is to conduct a survey focusing on project managers' responsibilities, to collect the data and provide analysis, and to develop recommendations that are feasible to implement. The project management survey that was implemented consists of 5 sections, with 57 questions in total. The sections are: position/company profile, project planning, project execution and monitoring, team management, and human resources. Let's review some of the survey findings. The following are the findings and analysis we gathered from the survey: lack of communications, limited budget, time management, ineffective use of project charter, insufficient funding. What are the challenges of initiating project with company? Referring to the figure, we can see that 26% of the respondents selected budget/cost as the highest. The least of 4% respondents selected scheduling. This finding shows that project managers are struggling to settle necessary funding to start a project. This problem will refrain project managers to perform at their best. Not enough funding can constrain the success of a project. This illustrates that perhaps a company itself needs better budget planning. We asked the respondents what are the potential constraints they face on a given project. The data provides 18% respondents shows budget limitation as the major constraint on their project, and 5% respondents find limited material and market impact as the minor constraint. This finding doesn't come as a surprise, as this relates to findings we found on question number 1. Project manager will struggle to complete a project if a problem in budget arises. Although limited budget could sometimes be a good thing, it could also be a bad thing. When a project runs on limited budget, it can be difficult to acquire resources that are needed for the completion of the project. We asked the respondents if they utilize a project charter. Figure shows a 50-50 result on whether project managers have their own project charter in place. 50% of the 8 respondents select yes, and the other half selected no. This finding shows that not all appointed project managers creates a project charter for their project. It could be that the company consider the project charter as insignificant. Supervisor should be strict at implementing this charter, as it is vital to every project. For the challenges they face in executing the project, the highest 15% respondents selected scheduling, and the lowest 2% respondents selected other. This finding indicates that project managers struggle to manage time in general, possibly because project managers doesn't have a proper project schedule management in place. Supervisor should also be firm that the implemented schedule plan is being observed. We found that the most difficult challenges they face working with their project team is communication and scheduling, with 27% respectively. This finding specify that there is a lack of communication with the project manager and his or her team. This will put constraint to the progress of a project. Adding to that is the challenges they face with scheduling that could cause problem to the performance of the project. Supervisors should find this issue critical because a problem with manpower and schedule could lead to failure. The respondents were asked how often they meet with their team. The data showed only 30% of the respondents selected daily. This finding shows that the project team doesn't establish proper meetings. Based on the key findings, we have come up with few recommendations. The first recommendation is to select a review team that can provide the experience and expertise necessary to evaluate the project's budget, schedule, and the capabilities of the project management team. The review team will consist of professionals and experienced people that could be selected within the organization or hire in outside professionals. The benefit of having a review team is to avoid future problems and increase confidence in project performance. The review team will then report their findings to the directors and supervisors. The second recommendation is to implement cost reservation. This is a budget set aside to cover cost overruns, and can also be a fund in place to cover future projects that could appear larger than normal project that the company has yet to undertake. This concludes our presentation. Thank you McMurray Corporation for your presence.